Hello and welcome to another update video about Boeing. So yeah, Boeing is also one of the stocks that we're going to analyze regularly in our stocks and shares membership service that we're going to launch very, very shortly. A lot of people requested such a membership for stocks and shares where we get regularly or where we can put out regularly analysis of several stocks and shares and the S&P 500. So we're going to do that shortly. But yeah, Boeing is one of them because it is quite an important and long-term stock that obviously has quite a long history. It's also quite a popular one. So we want to talk about the daily chart here. You see the movement of basically the 2019 highs. And important to understand that there are two wave counts, but there is a key pivot point, basically a make or break point that we want to talk about that divides the yellow wave count, which is currently my primary. It doesn't mean I wouldn't also focus on the white one, which is more directly bullish. But for risk management purposes, my view is that the yellow one should be seen as primary, but it's also adhering very well to the white wave count. So key is not to try to take the crystal ball out and say what is going to happen, but to understand where is reward and risk and what are the potentials, and then to position oneself in a way that that basically that you have a plan, for both scenarios potentially, and that you know when does which scenario get more likely. Let's first of all talk about the yellow wave count. So in the yellow wave count, we had a large wave 3 top in 2019. The price came down in an A wave here into the 2020 lows. And since then, we have seen a very questionable 5-wave move to the upside. You can even count that as a 3-wave move to the upside here, which was the 2021 high. And therefore, I do count it primarily as an A wave in yellow, with a B wave pullback that happened that was completed in June 22. So the A wave to the upside, the B wave down, and the price could indeed now be in a C wave. So see, this scenario would also point towards further upside, same as the white wave count. So it doesn't really matter so much which one it is, okay, of the two. This one points towards further upside. And in this scenario, we would have completed a wave 1. We're now coming down in a wave 2. Next would be a wave 3 of C, then a 4 and a 5. Likely scenario, and does not really differ much from the white wave count in the short term at least. In the yellow wave count then, after we reach another local high at least above the 2021 highs, we should see a 5-wave move down, which can take the price into the $60 to $70 region, depending on how high this yellow B wave really tops. To move that a bit higher. Then, in the white wave count, which is in the short term quite similar actually to the yellow one, we actually bottomed here in the wave 4 already in 2020. And instead of an A wave, this is actually a wave 1. But it would be an ABC structure in a diagonal structure, in an ending diagonal of a wave 5, which will be somewhere up there. I need to put that onto the chart. Actually have it. I think it's just off a little bit. Then we have the the wave 2 to the downside. And this is now in white wave 3, an A wave complete, now the B wave pullback, and we then should see 5 waves up in white wave C. So this is in the short term a very similar scenario. It's just that later on they will, didn't want to put that off here. So they will differ, okay? They will differ. The third wave might go a little higher than the B wave. And in the white wave count, so it would look like that: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in wave C. But first of all, we need to find a low in this yellow support region, which will be relevant for the yellow wave count and for the white wave count, which is good. Which means that if we break below that level, probably something else is going on, okay? So $134.20 is the 78.6 retracement level. In any pullback, in an ideal world, the price doesn't break and sustain below it. If it does that, then I would have to assume that either we go down more directly, even though that's at the moment not the expectation, or that it will form a sideways triangle as sketched out here. So if it's now forming a series of higher lows and lower highs, then this is a sideways triangle, and then I would have to say that the B wave in yellow does not unfold as an ABC structure, but as a triangle, which a B wave can do. And the wave count would then be as follows: A wave, B wave, C wave, D wave, and E wave, and then it would break down. Lower highs, higher lows. A B wave can do that. So strategically, therefore, even in the triangle, to be honest, somewhere down here, but then probably a little lower, maybe even a little lower than the yellow box, so we might want to consider that, but a little lower, it would form a low, most likely. Make or break point is very clearly here the $113 level. If we go below that level, we will go down more directly, and then we will probably take out the 2020 low at around $90 and come down more directly. But that's nothing I primarily look for, but we always need to know what are the levels that, if broken, tell us that we're on the wrong side of the trend. So at the moment, I assume this pullback is going to carry on a little longer. Could take a few more weeks, maybe even a couple of months or so. Would get into the support region here. From here then, a turnaround would be expected, either in wave C of B in yellow or the white wave C of 3. And then we're gonna capture that as a potential setup when we get to it. Yeah, that's my best view of Boeing at the moment. In the membership, then you will get also regular updates about the 1 hour and 4 hour counts, but this was just a general overview here as we're working through the charts. And I think it's quite interesting if it comes down to this region to maybe look for a high reward, low risk trade, because if we get into this region, even in the yellow wave count, which is overall bearish, but short-term bullish then, or medium-term bullish, the price could reach around about $350. Maybe even only 228, but even that is pretty good reward and risk ratio. Okay, that's my update about Boeing. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.